Thanks for coming. My name is Lieutenant Steve Yock, LA Sheriff Homicide. And the reason for our get-together is we're seeking the public's assistance into the disappearance of a 58-year-old man who resides in Santa Clarita by the name of William Searson. Behind me today is my Chief of Detective Division, Earl Shields, as well as my Captain Steve Katz, and members of William's family, including his wife, Linda. And in case you're unaware, the reason why Homicide Bureau is handling this investigation, in the LA County Sheriff's Department, Homicide Bureau is tasked with investigating all missing adults. And obviously in this case, Mr. Searson was reported missing by his wife to Santa Clarita Station, and Homicide Bureau will conduct the investigation into his disappearance. And certainly there's some things that are suspicious about his disappearance. And in this particular case, I'm going to turn this over to one of the lead detectives on my team who's handling this investigation, and that's Ralph Hernandez.
Thank you. We're here this afternoon to make a plea to the public in hopes of finding William Searson. William is 58 years old, and he lives in the city of Santa Clarita. On Thursday, last Thursday, the afternoon of January 26, 2017, at about 4 p.m., his wife, Linda, spoke to him over the phone. It appeared that Will, as he's affectionately known, was actually at home making dinner for her. Linda arrived home at about 7 p.m. to find him missing. She also found that he left his wallet, his keys, his credit cards, his ATM card, his vehicle all behind. It is very much out of character for Will to do this and up and leave. She made a report to deputies from the Santa Clarita Sheriff's Station. Subsequent to their investigation, they found some apparent blood stains inside the residence. Investigators from Homicide were called due to the obvious suspicious circumstances. We have in fact verified through the crime lab that those were blood in the residence, and we have some further tests ongoing in regards to that. We've also taken a look at surveillance video, not only from the neighborhood, but from other nearby areas. We've downloaded a number of videos. We're in the process of collecting that, getting it enhanced, and then assessing it and see how it provides us leads to further our investigation. Will is an employee of Magic Mountain. He's a bit of a homebody. He enjoys playing golf, watching sports, and he collects Coca-Cola memorabilia. And his family very much would like for people to call into the Sheriff's Department and provide us leads so that we can find him. At this time, I think we're going to turn it over to Linda Searson, Will's wife, who would like to make a statement to the public.
Hi. For anyone who lives in Santa Clarita, please take a moment.
For anyone who lives in Santa Clarita, please take a moment to look at my brother-in-law's picture. Try to remember where you were last Thursday evening, the 26th of January. And if you can think of anything that might help Will, please call the sheriff's office as soon as possible. All we want is for my brother-in-law to come home safely. Thank you.
I'm sorry? Rosemary, I'm sorry. Rosemary Flores. You guys have any questions?
Can we ask you some questions to the family?
Are you up to that? Oh, I apologize. I apologize. I'm sorry.
You want me to say it?
Yes, I do. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. Hello, my name's Andrea Peck. I'm the oldest in the family. There's 6 brothers and sisters, and my brother Will is missing, as we've said, and we need your help to bring him home to his wife, to his family, to his friends. He does not have any ID on him right now. He doesn't have a cell phone. He doesn't have money. He doesn't have his keys to his car. So he doesn't have any ID. Please look at this picture. And if you can see him, if you find him, if you see him, call the sheriff. Please report anything you can, anything you thought you saw that looked unusual. We really need him back home, and he calls me every Sunday, and I need him to give me that call on Sunday. So I thank all of you. I thank the detectives that are doing a wonderful job in looking for him, and God bless all of you.
Do you guys have any questions?
Detective, can you shed some light on this other family member who apparently was in the home for a portion of the day?
We're not going to name the relative. There was a family member at home with Will during the day. He has actually been spoken to and has provided a statement to us.
Is he suspected of somehow being involved in what happened to Will?
Well, I mean, at this point, it's a missing persons case. We don't know that there's, in fact, a criminal act involved in his disappearance. So he is just someone who we've interviewed, one of many people who have provided statements.
Is his account that Will was still at the house when he left?
Yes.
And how much before was that before when he came home?
Yeah, and we're not getting too much in depth as far as specific timeframes of people's statements to us.
There's a video that's out by another news station that shows a car that pulls up to the house. Can you talk about that one?
Yes, so there is some video that was located that is very similar to that of a relative's vehicle. Unbeknownst to us, apparently this video was released last night to various, or at least one media outlet. The vehicle is very similar to that of the relative, and again, this relative has already been spoken to and has provided a statement for us.
What does the vehicle do? Does it pull up to the house, to the back of the house?
We're not, we're not going to provide any details of what specifically the vehicle does. We are in the process of trying to get it enhanced in hopes of further identifying or positively identifying the vehicle itself.
What time does the vehicle approach the house?
And again, I'm sorry, but those are details too that, we can't divulge, at least at this point, because at some point, if this does become a criminal investigation, we do identify a suspect and we interview that particular suspect at that time, then obviously we don't want them to have information they've derived from the media. We want that to be a fresh statement.
Just to clarify, are we talking about two different relatives here, or is this the relative that was in the house beforehand that the vehicle would belong to?
Yes, the vehicle is very similar to the same relative.
And at this point, are you suspecting foul play? You mentioned that there was blood found at the home.
Well, there's blood found in the home. We are in the process of analyzing that and trying to come up with a scenario of how it got there.
But it is his blood.
We have not confirmed that it is his blood, just that it is in fact blood.
Was it
A great deal of blood?
Yeah, again, we can't get into those details of, it's a little more specific there.
The relative that was at the house earlier, I read that they were watching sports. Did they get into some kind of argument?
We don't know what their interaction was for the course of the day.
Has there ever been any history of this gentleman, maybe going off the grid or leaving for any extended amount of time?
In speaking to all of his family members, it's way out of character for him to leave even for just a short walk. So that's, again, what makes us very concerning. And again, the window that we're looking for is from 4 p.m., right about 4 p.m. to a little bit after 7 p.m. And again, if anybody in the public saw Will, even if it was earlier in that day, we definitely want them to call, because any little tidbit of where his whereabouts for that day would obviously assist us in finding a lead.
What does he do at Six Flags?
It's my understanding he's a part-time employee. I think usually on the off season he works on the weekends and in the busy part of the summer, he's there full-time.
So do we know from the phone call then that Will was at home at 4 o'clock, or might have been on his cell phone somewhere else?
Well, that's certainly possible, but what we believe, at least from what Will had to say, was that he was in fact home making dinner, and chances are that's where he was.
Landline or cell phone?
That was his cell phone. Yeah.
Sir, can we have either the older sister or the wife just answer a few more questions?
That'd be up to them.
Yeah, fine. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're right here with you.
And can you just tell us a little more about the last phone call? Did you notice anything different about his voice?
No, he was in a really good mood. He was happy. He was telling me he was making dinner because he likes to cook now, and that he had a good day watching golf, and that was about it. He was.
Have you ever told you anything about this relative that was at home that might?
I didn't even know he was over that day. He hadn't mentioned him at all.
Does he come over frequently? Do they have a good relationship?
I thought so. I mean, yeah, he's been over quite a few times.
I hear he's a homebody. I mean, does he have any medical conditions?
No, he just likes.
Got lost or?
He just likes watching sports when he's at home, and he'll go out in the backyard and practice golf or go out somewhere with the dog because he loves his dog.
And I know that the detective mentioned that he has something like this has never happened before. He's never been locked for long periods of time. Can you tell us that as well?
He likes being home. He loves his house, and he just likes being home. He likes sports. He likes going like on trips when we go on vacation and stuff. But other than that, he doesn't really like going out and doing stuff by himself. He usually just likes staying home.
This might be a typical question, but what do you think happened to your husband?
I don't know. I really don't know, and it's really hard to deal with it because he wouldn't do something like this. He's a really happy person, and he's a very religious person, and he wouldn't do this. So I don't know.
Thank you so much.
Do you have kids, grandfather, was he,
No, we don't have kids.
Steve, do you want to?
Any other questions?
Just a logistical question. So right now, this is a missing persons investigation. If this becomes a criminal investigation, does that change the resources of the sheriff's department and the way that the investigation moves forward?
Well, I mean, it might change the way the investigation moves forward, but absolutely not, because the case has already been provided a lot of resources, and it's going to continue to be that way until we find him.
Do you hope the enhancement can answer the question whether or not Will left in that vehicle?
We're hoping. It's just with video, it's very difficult. There's so many different varieties of pixelation, and some people have really great cameras, and some people don't. And there's some in between, and there's some things that the Jet Proportional Laboratory has done for us in the past, and we're definitely going to elicit their help, as well as the help of our tech crew for the Sheriff's Department.
The existing video, it's just impossible to make out what's happening.
Well, at this point, until it's enhanced,
The family member whose car was there, what was that person doing between 4 and 7 o'clock?
I'm sorry, again, we're not going to get into his statement to us, just that he did provide us a statement.
So he is cooperating.
He has provided a statement.
And so are you not revealing too much about his statement because you feel like he could be still involved in some way, or what's the reasoning?
Well, we're not trying to point the finger at anybody in particular. You know, at this time, we don't have a crime. We don't have necessarily a suspect. And I think it would be unfair to paint the picture of somebody as being a suspect when we don't even have a crime. And God willing, we find Will, healthy and well.
Did he get a lawyer that wrote it?
Yeah, we're not getting into that part of the investigation, sorry.
And, if you watch sports a lot, is there a history of gambling, anything like that?
I don't believe so. We haven't uncovered any of that at all. No.
no
No.
issues with mental health, dementia, anything
No,
like that?
we just had our physicals in December, and the doctor said it's in great shape.
Any other questions?
Location? Where is he missing from?
The 100 block, is that? Yeah, so it's 26800, the 26800 block of Cuatro Milpas, or Cuatro Milpas, Cuatro Milp as in Paul AS Street, and that's in Santa Clarita. Yes.
We would love to show more images of Will. Is that something that we can possibly release, just so,
You mean as far as more photos?
yeah? Or if there's any video that exists of him?
I'm sorry?
If there's any video that exists of him, I don't know, maybe family or playing golf, anything?
Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, this is actually the best picture when we went through what they had, the best photo for him. So, yeah.
Detectives anticipate doing any more field work, bringing in a bloodhound to the neighborhood or something like that?
Yeah, so we've actually searched some areas with the Santa Clarita Valley Station's off-road bike enforcement team, as well as our Aero Bureau with helicopters, as well as detectives searching certain areas near Santa Clarita. But so the answer is yes, and we're going to continue to do so.
And did you try dogs as well?
That's something that if once we pinpoint a better location to start with, then at that point I think we would go ahead and elicit a bloodhound.
In terms of, just real quick, in terms of the rarity of something like this, how often does the LA County Sheriff's Department end up seeing a missing person, a missing adult, where it's extended days and we have no idea what happened? I mean, how often do we see a case like this? How unusual is this?
I think we get a ton of missing persons cases assigned to the Sheriff's Department. In particular, like this one, where he's left all of his belongings behind, including his car, and is very much out of character. And obviously, the blood evidence in the house. It's perhaps not as common as most of the missing persons cases.
Did any of the neighbors here see anything?
The neighborhood was canvassed, and that did not provide us nothing of substance. Okay. Thank you, guys.